This TikTok lawyer says avoid self serve checkouts because they could cost you thousands of dollars and also potentially jail time. So, using a self serve checkout counter could get you framed for stealing, warned one lawyer on social media. Attorney and influencer Carrie Jernigan, who often shares legal advice to her 1.2 million followers on TikTok, has alleged that stores are using security footage at the register to accuse innocent customers of theft. By the way, not too long ago, one of these victims, innocent victims, basically of this whole fiasco, actually was like awarded, I think, like 1.2 or 1.4 million dollars from Walmart because they basically tried to do exactly this to them. So, as a criminal defense attorney, I advise most people to steer clear of self checkout, Jernigan says in a video that's racked up over 2 million views. The lawyer says there are three groups of people being charged with shoplifting using self checkout. The first group is those with the intent to steal. Those sophisticated thieves still get away with this. Weight sensors and cameras have made stealing more difficult. The second category she calls the theft by mistake group. These are the people that I genuinely think just forget to scan an item. She continued, listing an example of accidentally leaving something at the bottom of the shopping cart. Despite the potentially innocent mishap, these folks do frequently face charges because the big box stores aren't going to spend their time and resources trying to figure out if you did it on purpose, Jernigan said. The third group is the people she called the truly innocent. Most of these people are not getting charged day of. She explained. Rather, their predicament begins when someone in the asset protection department of a store starts counting inventory, perhaps days, weeks, or months later, and comes up short. So let's see.
Here's why, as a criminal defense attorney, I advise most people to steer clear of self checkout. There's currently three groups of people getting charged with shoplifting using self checkout. The first
By
group
the
of
way, her
people
eyes are crazy.
charged with shoplifting using the self checkouts are the people that are going into the stores with the intent to steal. When self checkout first started, it was a very basic theft approach. They would scan a few items that they planned to pay for, and then they would drop a few items that they did not plan to pay for in their sack. They would leave the store and just hope for the best. That did work some, but nowadays they know that will not work. The system is too good to do something that simple. So they come into the store with a very specific plan on what they are stealing, what they plan to use to conceal when they are attempting to scan. Many times people will come in with barcodes taped to their hand and they are scanning a lesser code on an item that is much more expensive, and it has become much harder for asset protection to be able to identify these thefts. The second group of people catching this charge, I will call the theft by mistake, and these are the people that I genuinely think just forgot to scan an item. It is usually something that was on the bottom rack of the cart,
Which, by the way, that does happen. Oh my gosh, she gets like millions of views per video. That is so crazy.
or say a DVD that has slidden under the purse, and when they are walking out, asset protection stops them. When self checkout first started, I saw where they let almost all of these people either scan and pay for the item or just let them go but took the item they did not pay for. Now, and I think it's because the first group has gotten so good at stealing that these big box stores are not going to spend their time and resources in deciding if you stole it on purpose or it was a mistake. They have lost all sympathy and they are just taking a tell it to the judge approach. The third group of people getting charged, I will just call the truly innocent, and most of these are not getting charged day of. It is something that, say, asset protection is doing a quality control check or inventory. Weeks, days, months later comes up short, so they will begin watching hours of video to see the last person who checked out with the Mario Lego set because they're too short, or an Xbox game, and for some reason they pinpoint that they think you did it. And because of who these big box stores are, they usually have to present very little evidence to get an affidavit for land you up to a year in jail, get filed, and then you are fighting for your life trying to determine what day you were at Walmart, what all you bought. You have to spend thousands of dollars hiring a lawyer, and we have to go through grainy video footage to try to determine what all you bought that day. Was that Great Value mayonnaise or was that Hellman's mayonnaise, to determine if the price is correct or incorrect? And you are then having to prove your innocence. And let's just hope you didn't pay cash that day, because that's even harder to show what you paid versus what they are claiming got paid or did not get paid for. Now, a lot of times the people in this category, once their attorney can show proof to the prosecutor that nothing was stolen, the charges get dismissed, but at that point, so much damage has already been done. I'm going to be doing another part, and I will give you the tips to use if you still plan to, after all this, use self-checkout.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, one good example would just, like, one tip probably would just be to keep a receipt, right? So they will begin watching hours of video to see the last person who checked out with the Mario Lego set because they're too short, or an Xbox game, blah 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 blah. So Journey can urge people to pay with a card for larger purchases and always keep proof of purchase. So basically what I was saying, keep a receipt. Let's see, any comments? Oh, yes, and one person typing. I don't think it's as remotely dire as the attorney points out. I highly doubt security of a store goes through hours of footage to catch someone stealing. Also, it would be extremely rare to get a year for shoplifting, even if it's a big ticket item. This is just a TikTok attorney trying to over dramatize something that is hardly a major issue in retail. What absolute baloney, lawyers. Now, here's the thing, right? This can happen to people because it has happened to people, right? The only thing is, if you're smart, you would hire an attorney and go back against Walmart or whatever store and sue them, right? Because you could be awarded a good amount of money because, again, someone did that. They literally did sue Walmart and got paid roughly 1.4 million. A TikTok attorney, well put. Agree, I seriously doubt Walmart is short on their stylist spinner inventory, so lost, blah, 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 blah. It's the cost of defending yourself that hurts. July 3rd, in a ShopRite unplanned, I added 4 live lobsters for our barbecue feast. I self-checked out, put the lobsters on the scale to find the sticker. By chance, I actually looked at the checkout scale weight versus the sticker weight, half pound, 0.488 less than the scale weight at the fish counter. Sticker weight. I said, nope, simply for the misdirection. This is nonsense. I worked in loss prevention at Walmart in college. They are so afraid of being sued that they have all these rules for loss prevention before you can even stop someone you know is stealing. You have to have constant eye contact and know where they have the item concealed, and then watch them past the last point of sale. They will never bust someone for stealing based solely on video, as against policy. Walmart wants to be 100% sure before accusing someone because a lawsuit almost always costs them way more than whatever is being stolen. This woman has no idea what she's talking about, and no one at Walmart is watching week-old or month-old video checkouts ever unless law enforcement comes to Walmart and asks them to review video for some crime law enforcement is already investigating. So at least for retail big box stores, this influencer has no idea what she's talking about. Those stores love self-checkout. It saves them from paying cashiers. That is very true. Which, by the way, have you ever been into a store where they had self-checkout aisles, but they also had like 14 14 checkouts, but only like one or two workers actually working it, like only 2 cashiers actually working out of the 14 aisles. Like, it's so crazy. So those stores, blah 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 blah. Every large retailer expects a certain amount of shrinkage, what they call theft from self checkouts, and they still put up more and more of them. So go ahead and use them, and don't worry, no one is going to come after you if you didn't steal anything, and they probably won't even come after you if you did steal. I know of a older couple that regularly steals from Walmart. They definitely use the shrinking method for a lot of what they steal. The woman changes price stickers on high priced merchandise. They've been doing it for years. They never shop in the poorer area, Walmarts, stick to the ones in the better areas. I'm amazed they've not been caught. Both of them have drug problems. Now here's the thing, like you could actually go and like check out like a cultural difference between Walmarts, right? Like if you go to a Walmart in a poorer area, you will see a lot more security cameras, you see a lot more police presence, you see a lot more kind of like over the top security measures to prevent theft. If you go to like a more of like a middle class or an upper class community, that type of Walmart will pretty much have extremely lax security because basically no one really ever steals from there. Don't normally use self checkout. I prefer human cashiers do the job for me. I'm also lazy. On one occasion, when I did use self serve, I accidentally scanned an item twice. Unbeknownst to me, an observant watcher I didn't even notice spotted the double charge and fixed it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. And this is the thing, too, when it comes down to self checkout, there's also typically other people around, like actually employees just checking out. Employees steal way more than customers ever will. Years ago, an acquaintance was working at the local Montgomery Wards. He grabbed a suitcase from the shelf, filled it to order, then carrying it out after he closed the store. He would also sell shotguns for $50 that he stole from them. Okay, that's pretty sketchy. The thefts got so bad that the store noticed the increase and asked him to be in charge of their internal theft prevention effort. Home Depot tried the 24-hour thing near me. One store lasted a couple months, the other only about a few weeks. The overnight employee theft is what did them in. That's crazy. Exactly, not usually, not really. All an article like this does is increase people's paranoia. This is the goal of mainstream media, of which this site is a big part, being the sister company to Fox. Save the receipts. That would be fine if those receipts they give you didn't have the writing on them disappear and fade with each passing day. If one is truly afraid of using self checkout, then take your receipt the day you buy and scan it, then save in your computer. That's also a good thing because you can also search it up. And keep in mind there are plenty of people who think they've scanned something and then scan it again, especially old people who aren't as sharp as they once were. They probably make more money from that than they lose from forgetful shoppers. Just be honest and try to do the right thing. Give thanks to God, however you do, and have some faith. Quit making people afraid to do anything. We might get hit with a meteorite, but we don't go around hand wringing about it. And here's the thing, right? I think this is a very like pretty simple and probably the best thing to really go by, right? Just be honest and try to do the right thing. I mean, that's basically the like best thing that you could really do, regardless of the situation that you're in. Like, if you're truly afraid, just try your best to do the right thing. Just be honest, right? It's like, oh crap, I screwed up on this. I accidentally scanned this. Can I just pay this? And you're going to be most likely okay, right? Like, there is no reason why you should really be stressing about this. Is this a joke? A year in jail? Criminals are robbing, shoplifting, jumping the subway turnstile, and not spending a day in jail. It pays to be a criminal. Brag approval. Just keep it under $950 and you should be home free. LOL. Let's see. Again, this really all depends on like basically the community that you're in, what type of store you're going into, their security systems and all that kind of stuff, right? Like if theft is like a really bad problem, you're probably going to see something like this. But if it's not, if you live in a good community, if you just to do your best, this probably would never happen to you, like ever in your whole lifetime. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money, go to 40inbox.com. Stay tuned for more financial commentary.